Hey everyone, welcome to the Formula Consulting Group. In this video, we're going to dive deeper into step 4 of the formula and show you how to generate pre-interview exposure to your preferred programs and why doing so has become increasingly vital for matching. If you've watched our previous overview video, you'll know that generating pre-interview exposure is part of the pre-interview phase of a multi-phase strategy we recommend for matching into top programs. We call this strategy the formula. Before we jump into how to generate pre-interview exposure, let's discuss why you should generate pre-interview exposure. You should generate pre-interview exposure because the 10 to 15 minutes you are afforded on interview day is just not enough time to win over the program's leadership and faculty. Imagine having to introduce yourself, walk through your background, discuss your rationale for choosing their program, discuss your rationale for choosing their specialty, present a compelling case for why you should be ranked over someone else, showcase your talent, showcase your personality, ask interesting questions, answer questions, and build a rapport with your interviewer, all in less than 15 minutes? Not only is it almost impossible, but this format puts candidates with no prior connection to the program at a huge disadvantage, which explains why programs often select candidates who they're already familiar with, either because those candidates rotated through their programs previously, went to school with some of their residents, or are friends with their faculty. For this reason, it is imperative that candidates with no prior connections level the playing field in their favor. And the best way to level the playing field and mitigate the timing limitation is to proactively interact with programs long before you ever step foot into their interview room, also known as generating pre-interview exposure. Now let's discuss how exactly to do this. The best way to generate pre-interview exposure, assuming you have absolutely zero pre-existing connections, is through the use of proactive interactions. Not by waiting for someone to reach out, not by hoping they see your application, but by forcing the interaction. And there are 4 types of proactive interactions that we're going to review in this video. Those 4 are: number 1, a physical note thanking the program for scheduling you for an upcoming interview. Number 2, an in-person visit to introduce yourself. Number 3, a referral by proxy. And number 4, a coffee chat with a resident. All 4 should be completed long before the interview. Otherwise, the purpose of the step is completely defeated. Let's start with how exactly to leverage physical thank you notes. As you probably know, it's customary to send thank you notes after the interview. Most candidates already do this. But few, if any, ever send a thank you note before the interview, and that's the key advantage of this interaction. Now, you might be wondering, well, what should I be thanking them for? And the answer is, you're thanking them for the opportunity to participate in an upcoming interview. The reason you're thanking them is because programs don't just interview anyone, and the few slots that they do have available are rationed out carefully, and you want to thank them for this opportunity. Other characteristics of this type of thank you note include: number 1, they should be written by hand, not typed, on thick stock card and small envelopes, preferably a vanilla color. Number 2, they should be handed in person by yourself to the coordinator, a resident, or other employee who in turn will deliver it to the PD. Number 3, if you can't deliver it in person due to not being in proximity to the program, these letters should be sent via post or private courier. And number 4, keep it short, concise, and to the point. Remember, this is a gesture of appreciation, not an essay. If you actually manage to get this letter delivered to the PD, they will remember exactly who you are the day of the interview because almost no candidate does this. The second type of proactive interaction is an in-person visit. And again, the key to success here is to request this visit before interview season even begins. Doing so puts the PD at ease that no ARIS policies are being violated, nor that he is showing any favoritism to applicants, because at this point in the process, no one has even applied yet. Additionally, the request to visit should be made via email and read something along the lines of: "Hi, Dr. Smith. My name is Joel Goodman. I have a strong interest in your residency program due to your insert 3 reasons here why you are interested in the program. Would it be possible to stop by your office to introduce myself and run a few questions by you? I live in the area and can make my way over any time that works for you or your team. Sincerely, Joel." Other unique benefits of an in-person visit include the fact that they give you more one-on-one time with PD and faculty, which is a major advantage because the visit basically serves as an unofficial preliminary interview, except better because there's no competition around. And finally, it's a great way to break the ice before the interview so that when the interview does arrive, the PD is more comfortable around you than around the other competition. The third type of proactive interaction is a referral by proxy. A referral by proxy is an impressively effective and super simple strategy that anyone without connections can use. So how exactly do you get a meaningful referral if you have no connections in the first place? And the answer is, ask your LOR writer to send your LOR directly to the PD of your preferred programs. The act of sending your LOR to that PD is a referral in and of itself, regardless of whether the writer knows the PD or has ever even heard of them. And doctors almost always take referrals seriously. An even cooler benefit of using the referral by proxy strategy is that it offers you a rare opportunity to stay on a program's radar without appearing eager, since someone else is doing the heavy lifting for you. And the fourth type of proactive interaction is to arrange a coffee chat with a resident. Now, this may seem a bit more intimidating since it requires reaching out to a complete stranger who may also be a future peer or senior. But if you manage to convince a resident to meet with you, this interaction is a highly underestimated strategy for strengthening your candidacy. And the reason it's so valuable is because, number one, the act of meeting with a resident gives you the green light to name drop them during your interview. Number two, it serves as a second form of a referral by proxy because after name dropping the resident, the PD and faculty will likely ask that same resident about their impression of you. Number three, it's also a great opportunity to gain inside information about the program that is not always available on their website and which you can later use during the interview to your advantage. And finally, number four, due to the casual coffee setting, the type of insight you receive is generally less filtered because the resident is more relaxed in this setting and more likely to share their true feelings. And that concludes this video. If you want to check out our future videos where we deep dive into the remaining steps of the formula, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. If there's a question you'd like us to delve into in the future, please leave a comment below. You can also learn more about our services at www.formulatomatch.com and on Twitter at Formula to Match.